morning, wonderful ones, beautiful beings. It's a great day. I'm so glad I came out to play today and to celebrate my Sunday with you. And you are celebrating your Sunday with me. It gives me great pleasure to know that we can come together in our community and have that opportunity to enjoy one another and enjoy not only the seasonal changes, but the goodness that is ours to share. Many of you have heard me speak of a longtime friend of mine who was a Christian Science practitioner, and she was a practitioner for 75 years. And she used to say that life and all this goodness was ours to share and to use, never to hoard or never to greed. So I'm in that melancholy mood today as we enter into this awareness that life is really, really very, very good. Reverend Michael spoke earlier about the minister's choice for reading the month of September and the 7 laws of spiritual success. Chopra writes, the universe choreographs everything that is happening in billions of galaxies with elegant precision and unfaltering intelligence. So I like to say, step, kick, turn, turn, turn. We turn to that universe. We are the choreographers. We're the dancers in life. We're here on a divine appointment. So let's celebrate. Let's get going. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it. A beautiful memory that I have is how the 4 seasons come to us here in the North Valley. And this morning as we entered the center here, it's about 8:30, 8:45, and we opened up all of the doors and there's that breeze, there's that coolness. And there was, I noticed, a little bit of moisture here and there, not from the sprinklers, but from the greatness that life allows these beautiful seasons to come and be. Autumn is my favorite time of the year, and on my bucket list, and I guess I better get going on that too. I'm not getting older, I'm just getting chronologically challenged. But what I want to say is that I would love to, yeah, I am old, but it's okay, I'm not going to act that way. What I really want to say is that I would like to have the month of October off sometime, or the 20th of September to the 20th of October, and just travel. The colors are good, the weather is nice, and it's just that wonderful time, that grounded feeling that I get from autumn. We celebrate the bounty of Mother Earth. She's rich in her gifts, rich in her awareness to life and the beauty that we hold. Autumn is a season. It is a beautiful season. And as we celebrate the newness of autumn, we allow that space in consciousness for celebration. I like to think of autumn and newness as a combination of good and very good. We're all aware of the bounty that agriculture brings to our North Valley and the source of revenue that it gives to all of the businesses, to our church center, and to all of life. We're well fed, we're well nourished, we're well prospered from this. Nature's harvest in abundance is known. As it is known, there's also a freedom that we can express that love and that goodness that we are. Life unfolds in every good way. And we must know that it works for us, through us. We're the conduit for change. We're the conduit for the good that we are. And I know too that as we accept more today than we experienced yesterday, we shall reap a greater harvest, not only in love and relationships, but in prosperity, in the way we view life, the way we view one another on our path here at the center. And our spiritual and mental ardor is full. It's full and it's well satisfied. I often think of Reverend Michael when he enjoys a very nice meal. He'll get up from the table or go to rinse the dishes and he says, Buddha is well satisfied, and pats his tummy. And that's what this great harvest does. Now, he's not the fellow with the tummy. I'm the one with the tummy, but he enjoys the good food. Last week, Reverend Michael shared, a good tree produces good fruit, so good thoughts bear a harvest of good deeds. I have selected a reading from Dr. Holmes in the textbook, and this is it. If a man or woman's life produces good deeds, then the man and woman, himself or herself, is grand. And this, no matter what his or her particular religious belief may be or may not be. The mouth speaks from the heart. It is impossible for a man or a woman to conceal himself or herself. In every act, word, or gesture, they stand, revealed as the truth they are. So we speak our truth, we walk our talk, we live in that dynamic space of consciousness that allows us the freedom to enjoy these seasons. And for that I'm filled with gratitude and garner the good, the blend that is given. Each of us live our particular good, no matter what our path or philosophical tendencies may be. Whatever path we're on is the right one for us. And if we don't like the path that we're on, we have that intuitive nature to change that path, change the directions. I know that an important thought that guides me is that I honor and I respect and I know that we're all walking in well-fitting shoes. For one thing, God created an inventive soul that created a long-handled shoehorn. So we can get into those shoes. We can walk in those shoes. We can walk 1,000,000 miles on those shoes if they fit well. Because it is those shoes that support us on our path in life. When we walk without judgment, complaint, or ridicule, we're living our authentic self. Kind of difficult at times to do that, to stay in that integrity that we are and called to be. But what I know is that we have that opportunity to ease into life with the joy that we are and walk in those shoes and respect those that we meet on the path face to face. I know that thoughts are more than things. They are the cause of things. And Reverend Michael spoke to that into the meditation this morning. That we know that thoughts are things. They're the cause of things. Since our work here at the center in all of religious science and the science of mind teaching is done in mind, our entire processing equipment is thought. And the realization that power is generated for us through that thought. Life works for us when we utilize that power. Now we can read it, you can hear me, but if we're not, each one of us, do not take it as our commitment to life, to walk that, it does no good. If we don't employ it, it has no effect. We can think it, we can read it, we can hear it, but if we don't employ it, it's not going to serve us well. Power is the energy by which everything lives. It's our battery. It's our copper-top battery. I want to share a truism that has worked for me and that I live by. As I focus on my goals, they become a reality. Now sometimes I have to really keep treating and knowing and affirming before the demonstration and the manifestation comes into being. We have the power to create all that we wish for in our mind and our thought. And we accept the responsibility for the experience that's transpiring as our life. That's very difficult for some of us, that we're held responsible and accountable for what's going on in our life. But through the power of mind, through the thought that we give it, and through that which we know is ours to hold and enjoy, we can make those changes that support us in every avenue, every path that we take in life. Our personal responsibility to life's journey is to accept and take the principles that we teach here at this center in the science of mind and religious science, bringing satisfaction. It brings a security, and it brings a combination of the love and the care and the joy that we require to be a whole, complete soul. I'm knowing that happiness and freedom is ours in every experience by the direction of thought. Plenty and abundance in every area of life. Who doesn't like an abundant nature of friendships, of love? Who doesn't like to have a secure spiritual community that isn't filled with the radiant good that we are? We are passionate people having a wonderful experience, living our truth, respecting one another, and enjoying the path that we're on. God and good is like water. It rises to the correct level. And when we are in that community and when we're in that consciousness, when we're in that goodness together, there is that universal support. There is that love and that good feeling of vibration and energy and essence that is ours, that supports us in every activity that we do, every step that we take, every thought that we think, and every breath that we breathe. We are totally supported. We can do with that energy, and we can do with that thought just as we please. And that's the nice thing about it. We have the power and the volition to choose what serves us best. And it's all supported through the principles of science of mind. I'm knowing for each and every one of us that within us is the one presence. That presence, that's God, and the presence is a source of life. And that source is what sustains us in 24/7. It's there. Every need is met in a harmonious fashion. If it isn't, there could be a little bit of negativity in our thought. And as we discourage and dismiss negativity, and that which serves no purpose, we move back to that centered state of consciousness and know that with gentleness and purpose, we live a life that is ours, ours that we choose, and all that we know and all that we have is that divine good. We accept the bounty of harvest and the newness that it brings. Opportunity is now. Rejoice in it and be glad that we are one with that infinite power. In the 7 spiritual laws of success, Dr. Chopra notes that there are 3 components and things one can do to put the principles of a do less and accomplish more attitude into action. I like that. Do less and accomplish more. Now, to me, that doesn't mean that we can be a couch potato and just sit here and visit and talk and not get very excited about things. What it does for me is that it supports me that I can have what I want, do what I want with less cloud and less clutter in my life. And speaking of clutter, last night, Spirit moved me. I had finished my lesson. It was all on the computer. And I thought, there was a bag in the kitchen that I had with about 122 get well cards when I had my hip replacement done several months ago. And I hung on to them. And I want each and every one of you, I want to thank each and every one of you. So many of you sent cards and notes. I read them again, and I shredded them. That's past. I'm living to the future and in the moment of now. So I thought, and that big bag that bothered me, I did something about it. I said, thank you, Spirit. And another thing I got to do when I was shredding, I watched the Home and Garden Channel and saw this wonderful house being restored and revitalized. And so I was zzz, 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 and I was seeing this wonderful visual right from my kitchen table. So it was all good. What a gift. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Well, anyhow, let's get back to the do less and accomplish more attitude and how we put it into action. The first component that we have is acceptance. When we make a commitment to that which we desire, we use the powers and the principles of science and mind to make the way possible. We do the housework, we do the shredding and get rid of that stuff that doesn't serve any purpose. Not that we disband everything that's in our past, but we move to what serves us into the future and into the moment of now. The second component is responsibility. Now that's kind of a pucker for some people. Lots of individuals that I have met, and certainly people that have come into the science of mind teaching that I have met over my 30 plus years in it, they do not want to take responsibility. They'll want to play the same story, and that's okay. Our records do get grooves in them, and the tapes and the CDs get disrepaired only by playing it again and the negative thought of not doing anything about it. So I know that we have accepted a situation when we take responsibility. We can set a goal, we can set a desire, and we can be responsible for its manifestation. That's the way it works. That's the hot sauce on the enchilada. The ball is in our court. If we choose to do anything with it, we can do that too. And hopefully that we all do. We have that power within to make the most of it. The first, and I had to read this one, the third several times, the third one component is defenselessness. The law of last effect is defenselessness, which means that your awareness is established and you have relinquished your need to convince or persuade others of your point of view. Yikes. That's another pucker one. Now I had two brothers and a sister. My eldest brother was a living, powerful source. And all that he taught me was probably opposite of what I have done in my life. But he was a good teacher. He had a power, and it was his need and requirement to convince everyone that his way was the right way and the only way. Obviously, he lived his life for 62 and a half years that way. It wouldn't be one that I would have chosen, but it doesn't mean that it was wrong for him. But he always had to be correct. He was the firstborn and the one that made the decisions. And I think I might have shared with you one Christmas, the three of us boys shared a bedroom. We got a radio for Christmas, all three of us. It was by Sherman's bed. And he controlled what we listened to. He liked country western, and we got Charlie Marshall out of KFBK in Sacramento. That was it. Time out. Not so. So, when we review these three valuable points that I have made, what I've come to know and accept is simply let it be. What someone thinks of you is none of your business. That you have that connection with your own God source. It's within. And if they have a desire or a need or a requirement to tell someone to tell you, or they want to tell you about their wonderful self, you can listen and always accept, thank you for sharing. That's nice. So my lesson nears completion. So I want you to simply enjoy the harvest of autumn and the newness that it brings to your life. And utilize that spirit, that power that spirit brings. And allow the opportunity to guide you into this newness, guide you into this new season. Enjoy the breeze, enjoy the leaves. We'll be breaking them up before long, but they'll turn a pretty color before they drop. So there's the bonus that we get. Life is really good. Life is God. And we're all part of that oneness that brings us all together. And you, dear heart, make it that way. So do less, accomplish more, and my lesson ends in love. Blessings. This is the time of our program when we give our gifts